I'm Pablo León de la Barra. I'm originally from Mexico City, where I was born, and I am the Guggenheim curator for Latin America at the Salomon Guggenheim Museum in New York. I studied architecture in Mexico City. Even while studying, we were very connected to art. Art and architecture were not separated, but also that art had a kind of utility. And all the time we were thinking, okay, let's engage with artists, let's be in dialogue with artists, let's invite artists to do projects. So even when we were students, we were doing projects with artists that today are well known. My generation was also very interesting. The people that studied with me architecture, Pedro Reyes was studying architecture with me. Now he's a very well-known Mexican artist. Tatiana Bilbao, which is one of Mexico's most well-known female architects, also studied with us. We were always thinking about this art-architecture relationship. The architecture of Luis Barragan, who collaborated a lot with Matthias Geritz, also had a lot to do with our learning. No? Barragan's house opened to the public in '94, more or less, so it was a time when we were finishing architecture. And really discovering that house, it was like entering a work of art, you know? And it was really incredible that he was doing and exploring topics that minimalist artists would only explore 20 years later in the work. No? Issues of contemplation, of abstraction, of really kind of clearing work out of content and creating a phenomenological relationship with the viewer were already there. So that really kind of changed my perception. I think part of the work I do as a curator really has to do with what the audience, what the public takes home after they see the exhibition. So really trying to create through artworks, and many of these artworks have a participative element, some kind of resonance, something that makes an echo in the public, no? And that when they go back home, it's something that suddenly kind of causes a click on them, no? And kind of makes them think, okay, how can this that I saw in the gallery help me understand what's happening in the world, or how can I change the world through what I saw? I'm really interested in art which becomes a thought process, not only a thought process of the artist, but also how it can become a kind of toolbox for the general public, no? How they can use what they learn from the artist or from the artwork and translate it into the real world. Coming from Latin America and working with artists from Latin America, I think there's a lot of confrontation existing between the work of the artist and the social reality of the place where they come. So I like to be part of that translation and do it as honestly as possible. I go back to many of the artists that I've been working over the past 10, 15 years and go back and work with them and continue following their work. And sometimes it's almost like there's a kind of almost telepathic dialogue and understanding. Pia Camille, who we're honoring tonight, who is someone that I met a long time ago in London when she was studying her master's degree, followed her work then, invited later to do a project in Buenos Aires. The first time she showed these curtains for which she's now renowned, she showed in Buenos Aires 5-6 years ago. And I'm happy to continue these dialogues over the time, you know, to learn from the artists, to grow with them, and I hope that I also give them something back. No? They really kind of push us in terms of wanting to take the work further and push our own limits, and I think we try to do the same. You know, we don't want them to do what they've already done, to repeat themselves, but really to find new answers and use art as a kind of answering material. No? So I feel very lucky to be able to do what I do, to curate exhibitions, to work with artists, to think through exhibition as a medium, to be able to translate what artists are thinking, but also like issues that affect us all as human beings. Hi everyone, buenas noches a todos, amigos, amigas. I'm very sorry I can be with you tonight, but thank you for saluting me, and I salute you. I'm on my way to Venice for the Venice Biennale, where I'm curating the Mexican Pavilion this year with Carlos A. Morales. And he's doing an incredible work that is relevant to topics that we're discussing today, really discussing ideas of immigration through his work, which I think it's something that concerns us all that we're together. And if there's something that I love about New York and about the job I do as a curator here, is that it's a city that's enriched by every one of us and where everybody brings their own value to what we do. I mean, what would New York be without Mexican food, without avocados, without tacos, without mezcal, without friends like you? So I salute you, and I'm very happy about our friends we're honoring tonight. Enrique Norten, who I've admired for years since I was a young architecture student. He gave us always hope that we could do and be avant-garde, and demonstrating it through his work. Pia Camille, an artist that I admire and I adore, with whom I've worked a lot through the years. And Raul de Nieves, who I haven't yet met, but yesterday I saw his work at the Whitney Biennial and he made me proud. So thank you everyone, and thank you for being here, and Viva Mexico, cabrones.